I'm Finn Wolfhard, and this is my last meal.
Every person has exactly two things in common. We all gotta eat and we're all gonna die. You might recognize today's guest from Stranger Things, It, and Ghostbusters. His featured directorial debut, Hell of a Summer, is out now, which means he can get back to his real passion, playing the younger version of punk singers in music videos. Finn Wolfhard, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if it is your real passion, but it's happened a few times. Yeah.
It was like my first, I feel like that was my break into acting, was doing music videos for punk band, or specifically one punk band for Pup, which is a great band from Toronto.
You do have the general face of young punk. If I were to cast you as young punk, I think
that's
it does
good.
work.
I think that's good.
I do want to ask you a question. Does this setting look familiar to you at all? Take a keen look at the architecture.
Okay, is this this looks like the popcorn ceiling. Mm-hmm. This looks like somewhere I've shopped before. Oh, I know what this is. This is the house from the Weezer video.
You're goddamn right it is, Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah.
We were in the same house.
That's so crazy.
We shot the entire freaking cookbook in this house, and then one person's looking around it just going, this feels eerily familiar, and then they go, oh, it's the Weezer bit.
That's so funny. Yeah, I remember, that's a cool house. And I'm pretty sure they only rent it out for stuff like that.
Seems completely unlivable. I will say.
No, it's cool though.
The decor in the bathroom, incredible. That's where I took my author bio photo.
Yeah, it's great.
Really spectacular.
Yeah.
Have you thought about your last meal before?
I guess when you're actually gonna die and you have a last meal, this is when you're, a prisoner, you don't always get what you want. So in my head, it's always been a Big Mac. Or whatever, you
thought about what you can ask
realistically.
In terms of the limitations of the
That's
state.
where my brain, which is insane.
Have you looked up each state's limitations?
I haven't looked up every state's limitations, but also from watching your videos too. Sometimes I'll see comments that are well, actually, you can't get exactly what you want for on your, whatever. I don't know. I guess I've just educated myself accidentally for it. But this was the first time I really thought about what would I want, what would I be happy with going out with,
What did you learn about yourself in that process?
I think that I want stuff from childhood, stuff that's just comforting, because I've had meals that are incredible and they're not the same as the whole Ratatouille thing, where it's you eat the thing that reminds you of that time as a kid or whatever. And so I just basically pick things that activated that part of my brain.
How often do you think about death in general?
I was more worried about it when I was younger. One, it's an unwinnable thing because everyone's gonna die, and two, it's also because when you really think about death as a concept, it's you kind of just go in circles. There's no actual answer for any of it, so it's just well, this is kind of a waste of time.
Yeah.
And then I meet people that are super lax about death, like Gaten, who's on the show, who I don't remember what he said on the show, but in real life I remember we had a long death talk, and he was so unworried about it. He was oh, it's just do you remember when you were born? I was no. He's that's what it is. I was oh, and it calmed me down so much.
He's such a bright, shining, beautiful light.
He really, yeah. What a sweet thing to say.
You're the black cat to his golden retriever.
Yeah, I really am.
About death and.
Yeah.
You ready to eat your last meal?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Finn, for the first course of your final meal, we have, quote, a local ballpark burger with everything on it except tomato.
Yeah.
Miss Vicky's sea salt and vinegar chips. And then we have a properly poured pint of Guinness here.
Yes.
Just a little bit of head on the top. Tell me about this local ballpark burger. Which local ballpark are we talking about?
So, well, there's a few that come to mind. There was one that I grew up by, it was a Little League, sort of ballpark, a small, community one, and the parents of all the teams and stuff, they would sell during the games.
Oh, I know the type.
That one comes to mind, and then the Jays Stadium also. But there's just something so nostalgic about when you go and watch a Little League game. There used to be a lot more of that, I feel like. And then kids started going inside.
Finn, you're getting old, man.
I know.
You're washed.
I know. I don't like talking like this because it does make me sound older, and I'm just not.
Hey, time waits for nobody, honestly.
Yeah, it's all coming for us.
Yeah, really.
Time's coming for us.
Hey, in the meantime, man, we got Guinness.
Hey, cheers, man.
That's so good. God, it just kind of almost has that like soy saucy note to it.
I've been told that it's not heavy. Technically, like it's the least caloric.
Were you told that by
amount.
like an old Manchester?
Well, I was.
man?
Yeah,
it's not heavy.
Yeah, actually, no. That is like
They have a different scale.
definitely the most sick I've ever been from alcohol was after drinking too much Guinness.
And you want to relive that
And I
moment
want
right now?
Well, that's how
I'm
much I
honored,
love
man.
it. Because like some people, they drink something, it makes them sick, and then they don't want to ever drink it again. It ruins it for them. But this is still good in my books.
Me with the Jägermeister and Diet Monster. Dig into the burger.
Okay.
Cheers. Cheers. What made you decide to direct a movie at 20 years old? What was the deciding factor that that was the right time?
I think a lot of financiers thought the same thing. They're like, what?
I bet.
Why would we ever give money to?
To this face of
Yeah.
young punk bands.
Yeah, exactly. It was just something that I was super curious and interested about. It's just like in the filmmaking, just the process of it all. And then when I was really young and I started doing movies and stuff, and I was lucky enough to be on sets with a bunch of like young, hungry like directors who were making a lot of indie stuff. I loved the way that, you know, you're kind of like the head of a team and you're leading this team, and like you're trying to, you have all, you know, you have this vision of this story you want to tell. You just get to be like a captain of like just this great crew or great team. And the camaraderie that came with that also really interested me. And so I almost started acting kind of as a way almost to be like undercover, like because I was like so interested in filmmaking and loved that part of it so much that I kind of did it not only because I liked performing, but also because I was like, oh, I guess I could learn a lot about filmmaking just by watching a lot of people.
They call that pulling the Ron Howard. You Trojan horse your way
Yeah,
as a child
exactly.
star, and then boom, greatest director.
God, I love Ron Howard. He's amazing.
Talk about captaining a team of like mostly young actors or actors that are around your age. It's interesting you being the same age as them, because you said at the Toronto Film Festival in 2023 that you get annoyed watching teen movies that are made today because it misrepresents your generation so much. What do you think people are getting wrong that you won't fall into the same pitfalls?
If you want to make a good movie, like, or something that relate, you know, identify, you know, that people identify with, you want to make something that everyone can watch, and that isn't just for our generation. And for my co-writer and co-director Billy, when we were first writing it, we were just like, we felt like there were a lot of coming of age movies that were kind of talking down to our generation, and a lot of it being like, oh, Snapchat's cool, whatever it was, or like.
Anytime I see like the heads-up display of a social app in a movie, I get like irrationally angry.
No, 100%, and also like that's, I mean, the whole reason why like our film takes place on a campground is because we didn't want phones in the movie. We wanted phones completely to be out of it, except for there is like one character that's like basically like a wannabe influencer, and that was something that like even now I look back on, I'm like, why did we do that? We broke our one rule. But it's not like a big part of the movie. It's just like the small little scene.
Even from a viewer's perspective, like being able to zoom out and think about the experience of all of you being there filming, like it makes it even more fun to watch. There's a line in the movie, it's my favorite line in the entire movie. It's when Ari is showing his screenplay to somebody, and he says, I don't know if you know this, but I actually have a mildly severe nut allergy. So the protagonist in this story is a schizophrenic war photographer, but it's deeply personal. Was that you like making fun of young filmmakers who take themselves way too seriously?
Yes.
Came through, man.
Oh, that's so kind of you. You're the first person to actually, that's like one of my favorite lines, in a way, us at that time.
Well, sure, but that's such a great way to like neutralize that point that so many people, so many of the financiers that you probably went to, who just go, what does a 20-year-old have to say about the world? And then you're immediately taking the piss out of it. Yeah.
No, I think it's like, you know, a lot of people try to write films as a way to sort of be, like to look cool or to be cool, and, you know, make this independent film and actually like stay on the camp was like such a cool idea and like really excited us.
But it's fun when you zoom back and look at Wet Hot American Summer now. It's like Bradley Cooper's first role, seeing like Amy Poehler there, like Michael Showalter, just all of these people, Ken Marino that went on to do all these incredible things. Do you ever have almost like a preemptive flashback moment where you're looking at all of the cast there and the camp and just go like,
wow,
man, in 20 years.
Yeah, this is like a moment.
Yeah.
I used to be a lot more, I think, like that. And then like as the years went on, like just the more I would think about the future, the more I was like, oh no. So like, I'm just trying to take it like one day at a time.
Yeah.
And not in the way of like, it doesn't scare me or anything. It's just like I just want to really enjoy it.
Adam Pally being killed by a fretboard going through his face. Finn, was that a metaphor for how your own musical creativity is slowly killing you inside?
Yeah, it's that was a deep. Yeah, it was an allegory actually. No, that was awesome because Adam Pally, like I've known since I was like pretty little. He was always so supportive and was like, anytime you direct something, like I'll be in it. I was like, okay. Like, you're signing yourself up for something that you might not want to be a part of. He's like, dude, I'll do it no matter what. And to his amazing credit, I texted him and was like, hey man, can you come and do this part in my film? And he's immediately said yes.
The lesson is never say yes to a text from a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Never ever pull off a favor for a friend.
Absolutely not. Finn, for the second course of your final meal on Earth, we have the tuna sashimi tacos from Oko. Then we have your classic California roll. We got it from one of our favorite local spots here in Studio City. And then chubby soda.
Yeah.
This is something I'd never heard of in my life.
So chubby soda, I think is an American thing, but for whatever reason, it was like at this like local corner shop when I grew up in Vancouver. Like it was always there.
Is there a big Caribbean influence in Vancouver?
No, more Toronto, I feel like.
Yeah.
There is like, there is a little bit, but yeah, not as much as Toronto. But
I thought this, I haven't like exactly done my research. I thought this might have been a Caribbean thing because I don't think chubby soda is American.
It could be.
Gotta be, certainly there are context clues.
Someone's got
product of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, these ended up in the corner shop that I grew up right by. And yeah, I literally have not had one since I was like eight years old.
No way.
Yeah.
I crack it open. Let's
open.
do this.
It's probably good. I mean, it's probably good orange soda.
I will say I've watched a lot of people drink a soda that they haven't had in 20 years, and almost all of them just go, oh, that's way too sweet.
Yeah, this isn't that good.
Why do we have such strong memory? Yeah, this is awful.
Bad.
This is pretty bad soda. With all due respect to the beautiful nation of Trinidad and Tobago.
I kind of want to try this now.
Oh, we have to. We need the redemption.
I'm very interested. This might be, I don't know why I have a feeling this might be better. Also, there's no way this is a good source of vitamin C.
Give it a smell first.
No.
It kind of smells like gasoline. Yeah, it's like laughing gas. That's a flavor I've never had before, Finn.
It's very bubblegummy.
Tell me about the sashimi tacos from Oko.
So, I want to ask how you guys source these kind of things.
Yeah, so if it's from certain restaurants, certain restaurants will call, we'll get it sourced. Certain restaurants will call and just talk to somebody about how they make it, and then we'll use the actual photos to try and replicate what it is, read Yelp reviews, all that stuff. So it's all really different, but try it, see how close we got.
It's pretty amazing.
Oh, nice. Oh, dude, these are like
these look so
little
good.
Nuggets of joy.
Oh yeah.
Right on?
It's exactly the same.
Oh, it's so good, then. This little baseline of that like mustardy wasabi, just kind of like bringing you back from sushi and away from nachos, which is ultimately what this is.
Right. Yeah.
I want to talk about your buddy Gaten, who has been on the show before. Now, he is like a theater kid through and through. You've talked about loving film from a young age. What are the similarities and differences between theater kids and film kids?
I feel like they're like very much two sides of the same coin. Like I talk about this with Gaten. I've talked about this with Gaten before. He treats theater like the same way that I treat film, which is like when he watches movies, he's pretty agreeable. Like he's not very cynical when it comes to film. When I watch films, I'm like very much like overanalyzing everything and being like, oh, that didn't work or whatever. Just being super, like a little more cynical about it. And Gaten's like, what are you talking about? That was great. And with theater, he's the exact opposite. He's he's the way I am with film, where it's just like, oh, I can't believe they did, like what the choices that they, the production made, or like whatever it was. But in some ways they are like very similar. We'll be talking about some musical, and he's like, it's tired. It's tired. It needs to go. It's been on for too long. I'm like, damn, dude. Like,
drop the name. What's he talking smack on?
I can't. I literally can't talk about it.
Dig into the California roll.
Okay.
These are from Sushi Yama Marketplace. Yama Sushi Marketplace.
These are from Yama Sushi Marketplace.
There it goes.
Okay.
Why have you said Gaten is like an old character actor, an Alan Alda type? Can you explain that?
Because he's like a 70-year-old man in a 22-year-old's body. But
he also eats like a child. Gaten, we love you.
It's very interesting. He's got like the maturity and the instincts of like an old character actor who's so confident and really understands movement, and like when it comes to just like acting and being an actor and being a performer, he's so fluid, and he's super confident. And I think that may have come from him just like growing up on tour and stuff, because he just like was a road kid.
It's awesome to see you talk so lovingly about him, not only as like a performer, but then just a friend, and all these like anecdotes of you two living together.
And even just like everyone on that show too. Like I was so lucky to like be a part of that crew.
What are your emotions about Stranger Things coming to an end, and did any of your reactions like surprise you? Did you think you'd be over it and actually sentimental?
For me, it was sort of just like, okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's just like every day come in and like it's a new day. And then, I remember on the last day being like, realizing, oh my God, like looking around, being like, this is the last thing of this. This is the last take. This is the last whatever. And like everything is like just like, no pun intended, like being in another dimension was really what it felt like, because you're like watching every person that you grew up with, all these people that you spent like the most time with, and like you have to process in that moment, or your brain's trying to process in that moment that like this is going to be the last time. So like your brain sort of just overloads. Proud of everyone, but then also like terrified for the future, and like excited for everyone going forward, and mad that we're not going to get more time together to film it. So like it was just like a lot of conflicting emotions that I think hopefully like when people see the show like goes into the performances. I think that's like the thing that really mattered. And I think like I've never ever done like method acting ever, but it was the closest thing just because of the situation that we were in.
I reckon you can't say anything about the final season of Stranger Things in the plot. However, if I guessed right legally, you do have to nod your head yes.
Sure.
Hear me out. So episode 6 is called, what is it, Escape from Camazotz?
Yeah.
Camazotz. They've released the episodes. Camazotz is a bat demon in the Mayan language. There actually ends up being a Game of Thrones crossover where Mike Wheeler tames the bat demon, learns to ride it, breathes fire, burns everyone down, saves the day.
This sounds...
We cracked it.
This sounds right.
It's honestly a predictable show. If you really look at it, it's predictable. Everyone could have told.
This sounds right. Listen, Game of Thrones. Some people were mad about the last episode of Game of Thrones, and this is the thing that kind of retcons that. We go back.
Exactly.
We go back and we rewrite history.
Finn, for course number 3 of your final meal, we enter the worldly portion. This is Finn all grown up. We have the agnolotti del plin from Osteria Lange in Chicago. The Yokohama-style ramen. Now, this is a clear shoyu broth that we've made, still with pork, a little bit of pork belly on top,
Amazing.
the 6-minute egg, and then some negi, a little bit of scallion on top, and then the vermouth and soda garnished with a Castelvetrano olive and a little mandarin slice.
Amazing.
You cultured son of a biscuit.
Yeah. This was so good. My friend Cadian from Chicago, who actually his fiance now worked. I don't know if it still works out of Styria. And he was also the one that was like told me about vermouth and soda because it's super low alcohol content. And I don't like drinking alcohol very often or anything. And this is just like a super easy drink and doesn't have any like a lot of alcohol in it at all.
Can I dish you up some of the
the plain, yeah.
So I've only had this at one other restaurant.
Yeah.
In LA, it's called Antico Nuovo. This is a very obscure filled pasta from the Piedmontese region.
Yes.
This is filled with La Tour cheese, just like they do at the restaurant. We couldn't fly it out from them. It wouldn't have kept, so we made it ourselves.
Very fair.
Let us know how close we got to it, though.
Well, the great people there at Asteria are amazing.
Shout out to Asteria.
Shout out to Asteria.
Some people in some regions of Italy say Osteria.
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 Go to
Piacere.
Osteria.
Bravo,
Hey.
ragazzi, signore. Fin.
Oh my god.
Shut the front door, man.
What I love too about this is like it almost kind of has a parmesan like it's the cheese is closer to that than like I feel like than the normal. I don't know what it would be like what cheese would be used in tortellini, but
just like just ricotta, regat, as they call it.
Yeah,
There's no like flavor. Like this is like a savory gusher.
Yes, exactly.
Just bursting in your mouth.
Exactly.
Damn,
Yeah,
that is good.
I remember
How
getting
close do we get to the restaurant?
Super close.
Really?
Yeah. This is like basically exactly the same. The only literally difference is that I think in the restaurant it's like because it's like some specific kind of cheese that's like aged more, so it's like a little more like sour, like sour or bitter or something.
A little bit more of that like biting funk.
Yeah, but this is so good.
Tell me about this ramen.
I went to Yokohama with my brother and a friend, and it was the best ramen I've ever had, and I've been yet to find it.
You don't remember the name of it even? Wow.
There was something so I don't ever use this word, but it was umami.
It's umami, dude.
It was.
It's umami.
I hate using the word, but it was true.
Umami is the equivalent of somebody using like the phrase like, what is it, Dogma 95?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's the same. Oh, it's
Totally.
umami.
Yeah, it's umami. Yeah.
Diggin, let me know
Okay, cool.
if you can come back here and eat this at any point.
Amazing.
If you'd like to.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so good.
But it's still such a clear, beautiful broth. Because there's a lot of that like tonkotsu ramen that just, to me it kind of just reads as a gravy in a lot of ways.
100%.
And I dig it, but I have to be like pretty violently hungover for it to hit.
Right. Yeah, no, I love tonkatsu stuff, but it definitely is like, when I found out about the Yokohama style, I was like, oh, this is the thing for me. Because like I love pho and
gotcha.
love clear broth and like think it's so good.
Talking about going to other countries to shoot though, because you recently shot a film in Romania, The Legend of Ochi. Big forescapes there. How much forest bathing you get to in Romania?
Tons.
Yeah? Actually?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, no, a lot of walking around. Have you been to Eastern Europe before?
Never, no.
Okay. Like honestly, Romania is like an amazing country and like so incredibly like underrated, very beautiful place and like awesome food. Like I had in Bucharest, there's this place, this taco place. I'm not even joking. There's
What?
the Romanian tacos. Hear me out.
Incredible.
There's this place in Bucharest that like has the most amazing tacos that they grow all their stuff there. Like they have like a little back patio where they grow all their own blue corn. So they make all their own blue corn tortillas and like it definitely is like a very like, great underrated place, I would say.
There are really no more borders. I had like excellent Oaxacan food in Amsterdam once, where same thing. They were growing all of it. They like recreated the soil conditions from Oaxaca at their farm in Madrid.
Yeah, it's like you have to.
I'm doing.
Oh my God,
here, dude! It's
that's
your last
probably
meal we're gonna
great.
Celebrate.
It's great.
All right.
I'm gonna try it.
there.
I mean, yeah, I think also, yeah, like I've had some of the best Italian food in Japan.
There's a big movement now.
Yeah.
Of Japanese Italian food. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you a question about a movie you did called When You Finish Saving the World, which was Jesse Eisenberg's directorial debut. There's a moment where you called Jesse Eisenberg and asked him if he had ever heard of anxiety. What did he say to you?
You know, I like had just turned 18 and it was this part that I like just really cared about and like was such a huge fan of Jesse and obviously like Julianne Moore was also in the movie. I was also just like, I was just so scared basically.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the best job I possibly could. He's the perfect person to like have anxiety around because he is the most anxious person. So it's like he makes your anxiety feel kind of like nothing. And I remember like kind of pulling him aside and being like, I'm really anxious. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like pull this off. And he was like, told me a story about how like on Adventureland, his director Greg Mottola, Jesse had like some kind of like panic attack during a scene, and it kind of lost control. And Greg pulled him aside and was like, I don't know how you wouldn't be having a panic attack all the time. Like,
damn,
it's the weirdest like job. Like acting is the weirdest job ever. And like. I remember like 2 years later probably, or a year and a half later, I was like just having like a tough time in my life and called him and was just like, do you ever go through periods of time where you don't feel, you go through depressed periods of time or anxious periods of time? He was like, why do I have to keep reminding you this? Like, I'm the most anxious person like on earth. Like you can see it on me. You can smell anxiety on me.
Seems like you're out here like collecting mentors like Infinity stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you have so many awesome people. You're like, but back to When You Finish Saving the World, so much of it seems like a bit of a meta-analysis of a lot of parts of like your own life. Like it's somebody, later in high school trying to figure out what it means to like be an adult, especially reflected through his mom, played by Julianne Moore. There's a scene where you're talking about this like cognitive dissonance of knowing logically that you should feel one way, but not actually being able to feel that, and there's sort of like resentment that builds
frustration. Yeah.
Do you ever feel that in your own life?
You think that all that stuff is just going to be like the answer to like your feelings of whatever, like whether it be like depression or loneliness or like whatever it is that you're struggling through. And then you're like, you know, but then I'll just work a bunch and I'll do all these things and it'll make me happy. And then you're like, that's not just it. Like, you have to also do a lot of work separately from that. So I definitely have like had a ton of that. And I think like that character too is like super racked with like a lot of insecurity and self-doubt and anxiety. And like basically the whole movie is him trying to make his mom love him, essentially.
Yeah.
And so like that's
Pay attention to him.
Yeah, even just anything. She's never like, hey, good job. She's always super, you know, even though she does, it's like these I think what's so interesting about that movie is that it's like the conflict of like, she runs a women's shelter and like saves people's lives, yet she can't even give like any attention to her son, basically. Yeah. It's just like there are certain scenes that just felt really good to do because I was like, I would normally have never done that in real life.
Was it when you yelled at Julianne Moore that she's going to stay poor while you get rich?
Yeah, that was one of the scenes.
Talking about mentors earlier, you're working on a project with Billy Brick, your creative partner, and Jason Reitman.
Yeah.
It's the Idle Hands reboot.
Yeah.
You've said that it's a classic, but not necessarily untouchable. As a massive Idle Hands fan, I need to make one specific request on a scene, Finn, that you must leave in the movie.
Okay.
Where Devon Sawa tries to cut off his own hand using a bagel slicer. It's got to stay. If it doesn't, I'm going to lead the Reddit hate pages.
Okay, great.
That you ruined a cult
We'll make it
movie.
happen.
Thank
we'll make
you
it
so
happen.
much, man.
Definitely. I also love Idle Hands. I think it's great. I think like I always just found really interesting growing up of just like, oh, a teenage kid who has absolutely no control like over his body. I think like especially too like when you're at that age where your body's kind of awkward and like you're kind of figuring stuff out more, like I always just found that concept to be really awesome. And yeah, I mean, I hope it happens. It's very much, it's like weirdly, even though it's a movie about a kid's hand who gets possessed, it's like weirdly a personal film.
It's an allegory.
So yeah, it's now yeah, there you go.
Finn, for your final course, your final meal, the Score Blizzard with hot fudge from Dairy Queen, and then we have the cinnamon roll from Grounds for Coffee in Vancouver. So how these ended up getting to us, we did call the owner of Grounds for Coffee, we dropped your name, they said they loved you, how much you've supported the business, and then they shipped them over to us. However, I don't think this is legally getting them in any trouble. They realized that with the new tariffs, it might be confiscated. So what the owner actually did was drive across the border into the state of Washington, ship them to us. We have some for you to go so you can give to your whole team. We got some of them frozen. And then they actually handwrote you a nice letter that has not yet been delivered, but we will make sure it gets to you. So shout out.
Shout out Grounds for Coffee. I go every Saturday. When I used to go to Catholic school, and every time after we go to mass, he would go and pick these up.
Yeah.
As like thanks for forcing yourself to come to mass with your parents, kind of thing.
I love that, getting a little treat for godliness.
Exactly.
It's kind of like Pascal's wager. It's like,
totally.
Might as well believe because now I'm getting a cinnamon roll. Dig in, man. This
is the greatest.
Incredible. Unless you're supposed
cheers,
to put
man. No, this is great.
On this.
No. I think you would die.
It's sensory overload, like the chubby soda from your youth.
Oh,
Jesus.
So good.
Do you go right for the fillet?
Every part. It's like, you know how like some hunters are like, I eat every part of the elk.
No, That's
me with this.
Scrape the marrow out of the deer bone, your favorite YouTube video?
You ever seen that? Oh.
I've never watched it. I couldn't find it.
Really? No. I'll send it to you later. I know exactly what video you're talking about. There's an amazing video of that guy. He's like a nature guy. And he's like, has like a gigantic moose bone or something, or elk bone, and he like puts it on the two rocks and smashes it with a gigantic boulder, and he's like, you can actually eat it right out of the bone. Does it?
We thought about getting you a giant frozen elk bone, and then we were like, PETA's gonna come after us.
Yeah. We would get, you guys would get in trouble. I don't want that for you.
Tell me about the Dairy Queen.
This is like my comfort thing in Vancouver. Yeah, that'll work.
Oh no! Under the lights, it's different. That doesn't count. This is sat for a sec.
My friend who used to work at Dairy Queen used to say that in the summer that would happen sometimes, where like you would do like, you know, like you float it, it would just fall directly onto the floor. It was too hot.
Yeah, I think you just quit at that point. You just walk out.
What's the point? Yeah, so the score, specifically the Score Blizzard, it's kind of like our Heath bar.
The Score, Canadian thing?
Yeah. I think, or maybe English. I don't actually know
British. Same. You still like recognize the Queen in a weird way. And I don't exactly know how much.
Yeah, they don't know either.
Fair point.
Basically, I mean, for a while I was going daily.
That's a cry for help. That's not I enjoy ice cream, you know what I mean?
If I'm bored, I'll eat ice cream. If I'm whatever, if I just want some kind of little dopamine hit, that's what I do.
Hey, it's better than heroin. That's what I
Yeah, exactly. Isn't this better? See, I could have gone a few different other ways.
You got to watch multiple generations of child actors from like the Brat Pack in the 80s, Disney Channel stars in the 2000s. Did you have a keen awareness of that and like put safe gaps in place of like, oh, I'm not going to be what people view as like the stereotype of a child actor?
It was definitely, no, it was something that I was really scared about always. And I think in some ways has like definitely made me, I think, like come out the other side better, but also at the same time I think has given me like a lot of certain kind of like fears or issues or whatever just based around it. Because like even though I had like such an amazing experience being like a child actor and like had like an amazing family supportive, like there is just like a base level of like things that happen when you're like a child actor that like that don't happen to like kids that aren't child actors.
Sure,
like there's just things that you experience. Like all the kids on Stranger Things actually have like I think done like a great job because we've all had like really attentive parents, I think.
Yeah.
It was definitely something that I thought about a lot. And actually something that like when me and Gaten lived together talked about a lot. And also speaking of Gaten,
I'm gonna try and FaceTime him. If he doesn't answer me, you do it.
Okay.
We're doing it.
Hey buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on camera. I should tell you that. What's up?
That's good. I'm excited to be on camera.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Finn has to talk shit to you.
Gaten,
You want to talk shit to me?
on your last meals, you said that you loved the Jenny's ice cream and didn't give me credit that I showed you the
Make the ice cream.
Yeah.
Credit for showing me the ice cream. Do you have it on yours?
No.
Well then.
Got a blizzard.
I do have a Blizzard though.
Okay, well, I'll take it.
I got
What's in it?
it's like Heath, but it's like Score. In Canada, it's called Score.
Most grandma choice for a blizzard.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. We were saying
You had
okay,
you had such grandma choices.
Yeah, you had
too.
egg salad, dude.
You had
That's
egg
tough.
salad. I was peeved that there was no mention of the. Actually, Finn did show me this flavor.
Benny did show me and it became a nightly thing. And he would surprise us both.
I would surprise him. We'd be watching something and I'd be like, "There's something at the door."
You guys are just an
Did
old
you hear
married
that?
couple. That's incredible.
Yeah, that is kind of what it was.
Beautiful.
You should probably go do
We should go back to the show.
All right, I'll see you in New York.
It's
Bye,
been,
Gaten.
yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. I cannot wait.
Love you. Later. I love that he picked
You
that.
didn't make the ice cream.
I did. Yeah, it's true. I knew exactly that's what he was gonna say. He was like,
Yeah.
"Why? You didn't make the ice cream?" Yeah.
Man.
Classic game.
You ready to get in the lightning round?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Who's the one person, dead or alive, you'd want to share your actual last meal with?
Oh, George Harrison.
What's the most expensive keepsake you took from the Stranger Things set?
My bike.
Yeah, buddy. What song do you want to be played at your funeral?
I feel like I thought about this.
Highway to Hell.
Yeah, Highway to Hell. Go.
Yeah?
It's perfect.
It's either that or Rob
Pretty funny.
Dragula.
If like my grandma there crying, like Highway to Hell. Perfect.
Is Bananagram superior to Scrabble?
Yes.
Liar. Who's your dream eulogizer at your funeral?
I feel like it'd be really awesome to have like one of the Monty Python guys. I think they'd be really funny.
If you were on survival show alone, how long would you last?
Alone, I would not. I would last like 2 days. Like maybe catch one thing, or squirrel or something, not know how to cook it, and then just go. Well, that's it for me.
Drink
I
a
gotta
little
go.
bit of contaminated water. Got a tummy rumble.
Exactly, and then I twist my ankle and it's over.
What's your biggest fear?
I guess like being alone maybe is one. Like loneliness. That's like the more sort of broad thing. But then like when it comes to like actual things that I'm like bears.
Loneliness is so much scarier than a bear. Bear,
Yeah.
At least you got someone to talk to.
Agreed. Yeah, exactly. You got someone to bond with.
Yeah, for real though. What's your greatest regret in life?
No regrets? Do people say that a lot?
Tattooed, right?
But it's spelled wrong. No regrets.
No regrets, baby.
No regrets.
Finally, Finn, are you happy?
Yeah, I think so.
Finn, this is awesome, man.
Thank you
I
so
can't
much.
Thank you enough. You want to deliver your last words to that camera right there?
Okay, last words. Maybe. Well, it doesn't really make any sense. I was gonna say he died as you lived full. That doesn't make any sense.
No, yeah, you would be like
I wouldn't
breaking
be
the fourth
full.
wall on your own death.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe like my last words are, don't. That's my last words.
Finn Wolfhard, everybody, give it up for him. Give it up for yourself. Make sure to go check out Finn's directorial debut film, Hell of a Summer, opens on April 4th. Get The Legend of Ochi opens on April 25th. The final season of Stranger Things premieres later this year, and you have a solo album coming out. You are a workaholic.
Yeah, when I heard that out loud, I was like, that's a lot of stuff. Who's got that much stuff going on? I'm like, it's me.
Our new Mythical Kitchen staff collection is here. Grab yours today at mythical.com and become a part of the MK team. No culinary skills required.